this is Travis from the YouTube channel From Milk to Meat. I wanted to share something with you that I thought was pretty interesting, that was really deep when I read it. It starts in Genesis chapter 24 when Abraham sent the servant out to find Isaac a wife. So Abraham tells the servant, I want you to find a wife. She has to be from the same lineage as Abraham. She has to be humble. The servant has to ask the woman he finds, and she would give him water, and she would be a humble person, would respond and say, not only will I give you water, but I also give your camels water too. So the servant goes out and he goes on his journey. He takes these camels with him, and he goes, and you'll see why I'm telling this story in Genesis 24 here in a minute. So the servant goes out from the father, Abraham, to go find his wife for Isaac, his son. He goes out to try to find her. He finds this well. Then at this well, he prayed and asked the Lord to guide him to this woman that Abraham described for his son Isaac. So as he goes to, in the middle of praying this to the father, the woman shows up in the middle of him praying, and she says, he asked who she was. She said her name was Rebecca, and he asked her, like Abraham said, he asked her, could you give me drink? And she said exactly what Abraham said. She and what Isaac prayed about too, that she would, how she would respond. She not only would give him drink, but she would also take care of the camels too. So then the servant automatically falls down to the ground, start worshiping God and thanking God. She takes the servant back to her family, which her family is, she has a father and a brother. She takes them back to meet her father and her brother. And the servant tells the whole testimony of what happened, as far as like how, Abraham gave him the instruction and how he met Rebecca, and he wanted to take Rebecca back to Isaac immediately. And they was like, well, hold on, let's stay the night real quick and we'll discuss it more in the morning. So after that happened, the morning came, and the servant was ready to take Rebecca back to Isaac. And they asked Rebecca, do you want to go or whatever? And you trust the servant? You want to go with him? Meet this man Isaac? And she said yes. And she followed the servant, and they journeyed back. They met with Isaac, saw him coming in the field, and she asked, who was this man? And the servant said, this is my Lord. Isaac ran up into her, and then he took her into his mother's tent, which was Sarah. Now, if you fast forward and you look into John chapter 14, when Jesus, which I call Yeshua, his Hebrew name, was talking and describing the Comforter, all those things that I just said, a lot of parallels fit into what Jesus was describing the Comforter, and how, just like Abraham sending the servant out, Jesus said that his father would send out the Comforter. And we are considered the bride of Christ, which Rebecca was Isaac's bride. And of course, Isaac representing the foreshadow of Christ. So just as Jesus says that the Father will send out the Comforter for his bride, that's literally the same thing that Abraham did with the servant, sending the servant out, which represents the Holy Spirit, to find a wife, which is Rebecca, which we are called his bride, which is also the church, for his son, which is, of course, Jesus, or we call him Yeshua. So just seeing how that parallels, and then even to the point of the servant adorning Rebecca with gifts. The Bible talks about how the Holy Spirit also adorns us with gifts. I mean, just the parallel is just amazing. Now, I haven't heard anyone talk about this. I don't know if there's a sermon about it that I don't know of or I'm aware of. Let me know. But I've never heard no one else talk about it, and I just thought it was fascinating, and I wanted to share it with y'all. So it's just things like this that I want to share with the community, with the church community, that I think that are deep and precious and intimate to me. So I just want to share that with y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think, and y'all, and you know, if you like, comment, subscribe, whatever, to my channel. So this is Travis signing out from Milk to Meat. Now I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.